The sun was dipping low over the cracked asphalt of Jefferson Avenue in Detroit, painting the sky in bruised purples and angry oranges, when Sergeant Marcus Hale spotted the black SUV rolling through the yellow light. He didn't see the faded purple heart sticker on the rear window or the Michigan National Guard plates. All he saw was a woman behind the wheel who looked like she didn't belong in that neighborhood after dark. Hale flicked on his lights, the red and blue strobing across the storefronts like a warning. Inside the SUV, Captain Aisha Reynolds gripped the steering wheel tighter, her knuckles aching. She'd just come off a 12-hour shift at the VA hospital, still wearing her scrubs, still smelling of antiseptic and exhaustion. She eased to the curb, heart thudding in a rhythm she hadn't felt since Fallujah. "License and registration," Hale barked before she'd even rolled the window all the way down. His partner, Officer Trent, leaned in, flashlight beam slicing across her face like an interrogation lamp. Aisha reached slowly for her glove box. The movement was practiced, deliberate, the same way she'd reached for her M4 in the sandbox. Trent's hand twitched toward his holster. "Keep your hands where I can see them," he snapped. She froze. "I'm getting my paperwork, sir." Her voice was calm, the kind of calm that comes after you've seen friends turn to mist by an IID. Hale smirked. "We'll see about that. Hey, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss what happens when the tables turn in the next 30 minutes. They yanked her out of the vehicle like she was a suspect in a cartel bust, not a decorated combat veteran with 2 tours under her belt. Her prosthetic leg caught on the doorframe, the carbon fiber scraping metal, and she stumbled. Trent laughed. "What, you drunk?" Aisha's jaw clenched. "PTSD and a below-knee amputation, officer. I don't drink." They didn't care. The cuffs went on too tight, biting into the scars on her wrists from shrapnel. She still dug out of her skin on bad nights. As the cruiser door slammed, she caught her reflection in the window, eyes hollow, the same eyes that had stared down insurgents who'd planted bombs meant to shred American kids. The precinct smelled like burnt coffee and bleach. Booking was a blur of fluorescent lights and sneers. Reynolds, Aisha M., Captain, U.S. Army. The clerk read off her military ID like it was a punchline. Hale tossed her phone into an evidence bag. "Terroristic threats," he muttered, scribbling something on the arrest report that would never hold up in court. Aisha sat in the holding cell, back against the cold cinder block, counting the cracks in the floor the way she used to count seconds between mortar rounds. She thought of her daughter, Maya, waiting at her sister's house with a plate of spaghetti growing cold. She thought of the promise she'd made to come home whole. 30 minutes. That's all it took. At 1947, the precinct's front doors exploded open, not figuratively, literally. Wood splintered, glass rained like shrapnel, and 6 figures in Navy windbreakers stormed in, FBI shields gleaming under the harsh lights. Federal agents. Everyone on the ground. The bullpen froze. Coffee cups hit the floor. Hale's mouth opened and closed like a fish drowning in air. Special Agent Carla Vega strode forward, boots echoing like incoming artillery. She was 5'0" but carried the kind of authority that made grown men rethink their life choices. "Sergeant Marcus Hale, you are under arrest for violation of Federal Statute 18 U.S.C. 242, deprivation of rights under color of law." 2 agents slapped cuffs on him so fast his knees buckled. Trent tried to bolt for the back exit and ate a taser for his trouble, convulsing on the linoleum like a broken toy. Aisha heard the commotion from her cell but couldn't see. Then the door swung open and Vega filled the frame. "Captain Reynolds, ma'am. We're here to take you home." Aisha stood slowly, prosthetic clicking against concrete. "How?" Vega's smile was thin and sharp. "Your SUV's got a DoD transponder. The second your vehicle stopped transmitting voluntary movement, it pinged Quantica. We've been tracking Hale's unit for 8 months. Racial profiling, falsified reports, evidence planting. You just gave us the smoking gun." The footage from Hale's body cam was already uploading to a secure server. Every slur, every unnecessary use of force captured in 4K. By the time Aisha stepped into the lobby, news vans were screeching to a halt outside, satellite dishes blooming like metal flowers. Her phone buzzed in Vega's hand, Maya's face lighting up the screen. "Mom, are you okay?" Aisha's voice cracked for the first time that night. "I'm coming home, baby. But the story doesn't end with cuffs and cameras. It ends 3 weeks later in a federal courtroom where Hale's own dashcam audio played, on loop, his voice dripping venom. These people always think they're above the law. The jury took 42 minutes to return guilty verdicts on all counts. Aisha sat in the gallery wearing her dress blues, medals gleaming under the chandeliers. When the judge asked if she wished to make a victim impact statement, she stood, prosthetic legs steady as a rifle barrel. "I swore an oath to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Tonight, I learned the domestic ones wear the same uniform I once respected." The silence in that room was heavier than any explosion she'd ever survived. Outside, protesters chanted her name. Inside, Hale stared at the table, the same smirk finally wiped clean. But the real twist came at the sentencing. The prosecutor revealed Hale had been skimming confiscated narcotics, selling them back into the community he swore to protect. The FBI had flipped Trent, who wore a wire for 6 weeks, recording Hale, bragging about teaching lessons to veterans who forgot their place. The judge threw the book, 25 years, no parole. As Hale was led away, he locked eyes with Aisha. For a split second, she saw fear, real fear, the kind she'd seen in men who knew the end was coming. She didn't smile. She didn't need to. The empowerment wasn't in his defeat. It was in her survival. Months later, Aisha started the Reynolds Foundation, using her settlement money to install duty transponders in the vehicles of every disabled veteran in Michigan. She trained local PDs on de-escalation, her voice carrying the weight of sandstorms and sleepless nights. Maya graduated high school wearing her mom's old dog tags. And every year on the anniversary of that night, Aisha drives back to Jefferson Avenue, parks under the same flickering street light, and leaves a single Purple Heart sticker on the precinct door. A reminder, a warning, a promise. The system didn't save her that night. She saved herself, and in doing so, saved countless others who'd never know her name. From which part of the country are you watching this video? Drop it in the comments below. Let's see how far Aisha's story has traveled.